And that had better equal that. They had better equal. Questions? Okay, so we're building our spreadsheet. You know I'm going to give you the caption. These cells will be in yellow. You just got to fill them in. The present value of the cash flow. So let's deal with this. Present value of the cash flow. And you can see that it's basically the same as my equation here. But what did I do a little different?
You omitted the 0.
Well, I put a 0 in. I didn't need to put anything here at all. It was an optional parameter. I did put a -1, and then I did multiply by the cash flow, whereas over here I put the H15 inside the bracket. Same end result. Everyone okay on what I've done?
Here, can you just go back to the actual cell?
Which actual cell?
Like the actual difference, like yeah, there. All right, good. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just
Same result. Same result. Questions? So there's the present value of the cash flow. Here's the cumulative. Cumulative, merely the addition, the negative, and then adding the present value of the cash flow each year. Why did I need that? I needed that because of the calculation of the payback. Now, let's have a look at this payback formula that's sitting in here. Well, before we look at the formula, explain to me, and you said you already have, but I want you to be very, very careful now, very specific in your explanation. How do I calculate payback? I mean, you told me at the beginning it's the number of periods of time that it takes to recover the investment. You were right. You were right. But I cannot put a piece of algebra in here until I know exactly what it is I'm trying to do. For those that have that spreadsheet out, take a look at the piece of algebra. Okay? John?
The initial cost of the investment over the life of the project,
But I don't know how to do this, so I need you to tell me how to do it. Okay, he said the initial life of the investment over the life of the project. That divided by 5. Will that give me that? That's what you told me. You said the initial cost of the equipment over the life. That's what you said. That will give me 3.75.
Is it initial divided by the cash flow per year?
Okay, now, because your exam one's going to be uneven cash flow, so let's assume what you said would have been okay if it's the same cash flow each year. So let's now try to help you with your exam. If you don't think this is difficult, look at the formula. Those that have got their computer up, have a look at the formula. So if this is not the same amount each year, you cannot write, don't look at the formula, just explain to me in words what it is we've got to do. Initial investment. Yeah, I heard what you said. Anyone else want to try and explain how to do it? Because you can't write that piece of algebra until you have this. And you know you know that the exam won't be identical. It'll be close, but not identical. I'm trying to help you. Someone explain to me what it is we've got to do. Look down this column until it goes from negative to positive. And you said it, but in a different manner. You said, just look down here until the cash flow is going to be less than the balance owed. But that's slightly different. I'm going to read this column. I'm going to read this column until it changes from negative to positive. See, if you're doing payback in your head on a calculator, that's what you would have done. You would have gone down here until you saw the negative going to positive. So that gives me how many years, excluding year 0? 1, 2, 3. What's to the left of the decimal point? 3.
Yes.
So, listen, you got to split to the left of the decimal point away from the right-hand side of the decimal point. We'll deal with the left hand, bit to the left. You do it intuitively without thinking about it. But once you go into Excel, you've got to think about it carefully. Excel will only do what you and I can do. So I will determine the number of negative values in this column. Is there a function in Excel that will give us the number of negative values? Anyone want to take a guess at it? Don't see. It'll count the number of negative. Count it. There's a function in Excel, count it, that will count the number of negative values. So now I've got the bit to the left. We just need to do the bit to the right of the decimal point. So let's pick up there on Wednesday.